up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of our Project Miata build. Today we're working on quite a few things, and we've already got some stuff done. I did have some footage on the GoPro, but because it was on the head mount, the footage was just absolutely terrible. So we're not going to use it. Instead, I'm just going to kind of talk to you guys about the stuff that we've got going on and some of the stuff that we need to do this weekend and then the following week in order to get this thing back on the road. First and foremost, we got our 1.6 all set up. Now I am editing a video for this, so we will have this up and soon, hopefully, be able to show you guys some of the stuff that we've done. But basically, simple rebuild. So we've got bearings, rings, we've got new retainers, springs, and valve seals. Basically every gasket that you can do. So, we did our rear main seal with both of our half moon seals, went ahead and did our oil pan, our intake manifold, we did our CAS sensor, valve cover, head gasket, full timing belt also. So full timing kit, so new idler, new tensioner, new spring, all the seals for the cooling system. And then we even got some of our G Plus silicone hoses on here. So those are really cool. Like I said, I got them for a really great deal, and I definitely am satisfied with the quality that they are. And then I went ahead and cleaned up some stuff like the intake manifold, the bracket. You guys might see all these little pink marks. They're just for me to know that I went through and torqued those bolts down to spec. So we'll be getting this thing back in soon. I'm waiting on a new PCV valve and grommet and our oil cap. We're also waiting on our clutch kit to show up with the flywheel, and I also went ahead and just got some of the seals for our transmission. So we have this input shaft seal right here and the paper gasket that goes behind that little housing. I'm kind of cleaning this up with a wire wheel right now. Went ahead and got these things all cleaned up that you guys already saw. Oh, and we depowered our rack. So steering rack is all depowered. Very cool. Pretty easy to do, actually. So I recommend it if you want to do it. Just important, make sure you pack it with grease. I used a high temp red grease, and that seems to work just fine. And then I adjusted the tensioner, so feels really nice. We'll have to see what it's like in the car. I did not weld the spool on this, but if it's something that I feel like needs to be done later on, if we start tracking it or whatever, then yeah, we'll take this back out and we'll weld the spool up. But got it all set up, got new boots. I just put the inner tie rods back in. They're fine. One was replaced, one was used, so not a big deal. And then just capped it all off with some silicone. So got these all capped off. You could cut and weld them, which would be fine. I might do it later, but I am waiting still for these bushings to show up. So we can put it back in. But while we're waiting on that, a couple things that we've already went ahead and done. Got the old coilovers out. I am waiting for my impact gun right now to charge so I can take off this rear axle nut. Tried to break it free yesterday, but I couldn't. So we got two brand new CV axles going in. And then we also are going to be doing our diff. I got some white line differential bushings. I got a polyurethane, and we're gonna go ahead and put those in. So I figured we'll wait on the rear coils and the brakes, pull out these axles, and then go ahead and drop that rear diff down the rest of the way, replace those bushings, put it up, since everything else is already disconnected. Seemed like the smartest thing to do. So in the front, however, already went ahead and got our BFO coilovers put in. So they're pretty nice. They're really easy to install. I currently have it set at 1 1/4 inches for in between these two lock nuts. 1 inch of that is height adjustment, and the other part of it is preload on the spring. So I basically just set the height I wanted and then adjusted the preload, and we're good to go. So I got the rears over here, and these are ready to go too. So I just set them to the height that these are currently set at, just to kind of make sure that they're relatively close. I did go about 1/4 of an inch taller, just because I don't like we're just basically throwing them on and seeing where it lands as far as height goes. Obviously we'll adjust them, but basically just getting them in. These are going to wait a little bit, probably next week, since I am waiting on the bushings to show up for the rear diff. But at the very least, we can go ahead and button up the front here. So what I'm going to do is go grab the TRQ brakes and get these off and get the new brakes on, and I will come back when we get the brakes all buttoned up, and maybe we'll do some other stuff. But this video was going to be something entirely different. However, I somehow managed to lose an entire SD card full of footage, so that was great. I had depowering the rack and pulling the coilovers. Some of the footage for the coilovers probably wasn't that great anyway, because it was on a head mount and I was trying to tuck up under here, so whatever. At least you guys can see. If you need a video on how to install coilovers on your Miata, there's like a million of them. Pretty much everything I'm doing, there's like millions of videos on, so I'm not getting into a lot of detail with this stuff. Just kind of showing you guys the progress of what's going on with it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those brakes and get rolling on swapping the fronts out, and then I will catch you guys in the next clip. All right, so I've got my TRQ set up right here. So these are our ceramic pads for the front. They do come with all of these little shim pieces. I like to replace these. I consider these hardware, but I like to replace them anytime I do pads. Pretty nice pads. I've been running TRQ stuff for a little bit now. I've never had any problems. They're great as long as like you're looking for a good OEM plus replacement. These are perfect. So got our drilled and slotted fronts, just regular replacement size. I believe they're like 10-inch or something like that. When we do start adding power to this, we will definitely be upgrading to bigger brakes front and rear. Some other goodies that showed up today that I wasn't expecting was our Exidy master kit for the clutch. So basically it comes with a brand new clutch master cylinder, clutch slave cylinder, and a braided line that now replaces basically this whole setup here. So this, the soft line, and then the hard line portion that runs over there to the current clutch master. Just wanted to replace it. Ours isn't looking in the best condition. Fluid's pretty dark in there, but not a big deal. We're just gonna eliminate the whole thing and start fresh. Really happy that it showed up today though. I'm excited to get that put in. That's definitely gonna be on the to-do list for today or tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these front rotors and pads on here after I get off this old assembly, and I'll catch you guys when they're finished. All right, and just like that, the front brakes are on. So we just did our pads and rotors here in the front, cleaned up the mounting surfaces and where the slides go on the calipers. Got everything nice and greased with a little bit of brake grease, and made sure that all of our new hardware fit appropriately. So those are in right now. We will probably clean them off one more time before we go ahead and test drive with a little bit of brake clean just on the surface of the rotors to make sure we got everything off of there. So now that that's all buttoned up, we're going to move on to our clutch system. So I figured while we wait for the clutch kit to show up, we can go ahead and replace some other components that we need to get done. So this is our OEM setup right here, and you can see that our soft line has definitely seen better days. This hard line right here is pretty bent up, and then just the cylinder itself, I'm glad I pulled it because it was leaking on the inside. So good to check those things. So right here we have our Exidy kit. So this is a new master cylinder, our line that runs from the master cylinder to our brand new slave cylinder, and we'll go ahead and grease this up as well before we insert the pin in and get it all set up. But for now, what we're going to do is just go ahead and get this mounted and get the line ran where it needs to be. We're going to bench bleed this system as well before we put some fluid in it. We're going to go ahead and leave this off until we get the transmission put back in. So we're going to go ahead and get this installed real quick, and I'll catch you guys in the next clip. All right, and just like that, the new exidy clutch master cylinder is in. Went ahead and got it all torqued down, and then I secured this line here just loosely. Now it runs along here on the underside of the brake lines instead of up top like the previous line was. And then I just have it over here for now. When we get all this cleaned up, we'll go ahead and run it down after the engine and transmission are in and get it secured to the clutch sleeve, which we will already have bolted to our transmission. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish wiping down the subframe, and then I'm gonna take a little break. We're gonna hop on the GoPro, get you guys up there, and we're gonna go ahead and finish off some stuff that we need to do in the rear. So now that we got these axle nuts loose, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the axle from the drive shaft. And then we're gonna finish taking the rest of this stuff off so we can pull our old CV axles out, drop our rear differential, and hopefully get those bushings out so we can get it all prepped up for when our new Prothane bushings show up. So I'll catch you guys in the next clip. Alrighty, so I was able to get the CV axle out of the passenger side, no problem. This one doesn't look too bad, but we're definitely gonna replace it since we're in here. However, on the driver's side, I had a problem where I could not get the axle free from the bearing hub assembly. So I decided just to take the whole knuckle off and go ahead and just soak this for a little bit. You can see I kind of mushroomed out the end there, so we're probably gonna have to cut that off. It's not a big deal, we're replacing all the studs anyway, but I really hope I can get this out of here, because if not, I'm gonna have to come up with something interesting in order to get this hub free. So this boot was torn right here, not a big deal. I'm just slinging a little grease. Good news is though, I was under there and found out that the differential has a polyurethane bushings already, so that's cool. We're still going to drop it down, open up the case, and take a look, but that will be for another video. So we got a lot done today. Got the coils off, got our new coils on, got our front pads and rotors done, cleaned up the subframe in the front, got rid of our power steering, installed our new exidy clutch master with the line. Things are rolling right along. So this is probably where I'm going to end this video today, guys. I appreciate everybody watching. I do have a little bit of stuff to get buttoned up on here, but I'd like to make the rear diff and axle video kind of its own thing as far as the install goes. And when we do that, I will show you guys the coilovers that we'll have in. We are also waiting on our sway bars front and rear, so those will be really exciting. They're coming from Whiteline. Very excited to get those in. We also got quite a few other goodies coming, and I will have to show you guys those in the next video, so hopefully you guys are enjoying, and I hope to catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.